Hi folks, this is Jay. So today I want to take you on a walk to take a look at fragrant plants in my own garden. This is on a Friday morning. It's very quiet. So let me walk you through. So one of my favorite perennial is the Hyssopus. You see they have the purple bluish flower and they have this very vertical shape. It is a favorite of many of the pollinators, especially bees. They have this very aromatic, herbal scent, and if you walk past by, you brush the leaf, they're going to release the aroma. And one thing I find them really valuable is, in addition to the pollinators, other critters like deer and rabbits will leave them alone. They never touch my Hyssopus. The Hyssop is a short-lived perennial. They tend to self-seed, but they don't last very long, a few years maybe. But I just love the aroma. Another favorite of mine is the Buddleia, the butterfly bush. Yes, some people have issue with butterfly bush because it's not native, and there has this reports about it being invasive. But nowadays, you can only buy the non-invasive variety of Buddleia from nurseries. So nursery don't sell any of the invasive variety within the Buddleia family anymore. So it just provides nectar for the butterfly, and it has this very nice fruity floral fragrance, and they just keep flowering throughout the entire summer. And if you do a little bit of a deadheading, they're going to send out even more new growths, and you get to enjoy more of the fragrance. So this is a Buddleia, also called a butterfly bush. And so this will be the fragrant plant in my driveway border area. Oh, another thing I should mention is I usually plant thymes around the grave of our little King Charles Cavalier dog. So the thyme stays low, and whenever we walk by, it releases this very nice fragrance we really enjoy. So another large family of fragrant annual is actually Petunia. So this is the Supertunia Bordeaux, the purple one. They have a very faint fragrance, and I know the wave Petunia, they're very fragrant. So it's depending on the variety. Some of those are more fragrant, some are less fragrant, but you get the fragrance as a bonus from the Petunia. So this will be a night blooming jasmine. This is a starter that I received from my friend and also a fellow plant pusher, Shirley. So this is not cold hardy in here in USDA Zone 6, but it's something you can bring inside and overwinter as a house plant, then use them outside during the summer. Yeah, I have yet to enjoy the fragrance from the bloom, but I might get some bloom within this season, so they grow very, very fast. So I actually consider lantana as a fragrant plant. So if you rub the leaf or the berry, it has this very aromatic, herbal aroma. It's not floral, but I consider this as a very nice addition to the ornamental value they offer. So I placed fragrant plants with fragrant flower close to my table and also my front door, so I get to enjoy them more often. So this one is, the way we're looking at, is a type of Nemesia. I know other people pronounce it differently, but I pronounce it as Nemesia. this is a proven winter variety. So not only they have this very delicate and soft color, they have the fragrance similar to vanilla ice cream. And it is an annual, so they flower all summer long, but they probably will not overwinter. But they're just quite happy in a smaller container on your table as maybe as a centerpiece. Right next to the Nemesia, this is a heliotrope with the purple flower. The heliotrope is very, very fragrant. It is non-cold hardy, but I think you can overwinter them. I'm going to try this winter, and they grow very fast. So after the flower span, you deadhead, and they will send out new buds. So they keep flowering throughout the summer, and the heliotrope is one of the favorite ingredients and accord by many famous perfumer. So they have this very soft, powdery, vanilla-like, but not quite vanilla scent. It's very, very calming, very, very soothing. Yeah, there's a very famous fragrance from Frederic Malle. It's called Would the Hive, the Winter Water, is centered on the fragrance of heliotrope. It's just such a calming scent. And the color on the flower and also the leaf is actually quite unique. You don't see that very often on other plants. So heliotrope is probably my favorite fragrant annual plant. So let's continue. So this is the passage leading to my front door that no one really uses. And what I want to show you here is my Sweetbay Magnolia. So Sweetbay Magnolia is a native plant to the eastern New York, eastern United States. It's native to Virginia, and this is different than the typical magnolia we see in the colder northern region, which they have a profusion of flower in the spring before leaf come out. But this is different. So this is a semi-evergreen. So depending on how harsh the winter is, it may retain the leaf or it may drop all the leaf and regrow them in the spring. And they flower in the summer. They flower one by one. They have this kind of like a gardenia-like flower, white, and very, very fragrant. So if I have one bloom here, I can smell this in the entire front yard. And since it is a native variety, you can grow them from the seed. So those are the seed head we're looking at. And when they ripen, they're going to open, and you can see the red seed, just like you see on the southern magnolia, those evergreen magnolia. So I share some of the seed with my friend Valerie, and she managed to grow a handful of baby Sweetbay Magnolia from the seed, which is very promising, which just encouraged me to try it again next year when I harvest the seed, and I'm going to try to grow it again from seed, so I have more, and I can share it with my fellow plant pusher in our network. So now let's take a look. One of the very dramatic annual plant. This is Nicotiana Sylvestris, also called woodland Nicotiana. So this is a self-seeding annual. They don't overwinter, but they set so many seed and they self-seed. So they can get to at least 5 or 6 feet of growth within one season, and they will get taller and even more dramatic. But thing special with them is they have this very elongated, tubular shape, white flower. And people say they have a fragrance especially later in the day after the sunset. But I never capture any of the scent from my Nicotiana. So I would consider the Nicotiana as something that is not reliably fragrant. So because they have some, maybe have some, the seed has become hybridized or has some mutations. So the Nicotiana, you may get fragrant flower or not with them. So let's go this way, and I can show you a little bit about my garden on this side. So in between those licorice plant and the Magnolia, I have 4 of the Clethra, summer sweet, I think. Well, summer sweet is also a native plant. Well, they have this very nice, long, white blossom later in season. So I'm not sure if I'm going to get any flower this year because the deer has been visiting. Yeah, but they have this long, white flower later in season, and very, very fragrant. And the pollinators just go crazy for the flower on the Clethra, summer sweet. Well, here we have another butterfly bush, which is very nice, but not as fragrant as the blue one we saw earlier. Okay, so I placed the trellis here in the middle of the arbor to kind of block it a little bit to make it harder for the deer to pass. So this is the typical magnolia we see here. This is the Southern Magnolia. The variety is called Jane from the Little Girl series. And this will be the one that bloom early in the season. They flower before they leave out. But unfortunately, this variety of magnolia, they're not fragrant though. Okay, so another fragrant plant I want to share with you is actually a hydrangea. So this is Hydrangea paniculata quickfire. And when they first start to bloom, they have this very, very heady, floral, honey-like fragrance, which is quite beautiful. And the pollinators really love this variety of hydrangea. But now we are in the middle of August, so the flower, they're kind of matured, so probably they don't have much of a nectar or pollen left, so it's not as fragrant. And but when they first started blooming, it's just it's very fragrant. Yeah. So another area here I have right next. I use them as an adjunct plant. So the one with the mint-like leaf family, they are in the mint family. This is the lemon balm plant, Melissa officinalis. So this is a cold hardy perennial herb. It's in the mint family, but it's not going to be an issue for you, like sending a runner. So they'll grow into a bigger clump, but they pretty much stay in that spot. And they have this very lemony. Let me pick a leaf. Yes, they have the citronello component in the fragrance, so it actually repels mosquito, and you can make tea with it, or even just use them a little bit in your salad. So they have this very refreshing lemony aroma. Okay, let me. I was looking for one of my clematis, so let me go to the other area in my garden so I can show you that particular variety of clematis. So that variety is called the Sweet Summer Love. It is a newer hybrid variety between the Sweet Autumn Clematis, which is a late blooming variety, has this dainty white flower and extremely fragrant. And it's a hybrid between the Sweet Autumn Clematis with a purple hybrid variety of Clematis. So it has the characteristic from both varieties. They have this smaller flower which is fragrant, but they also in purple and they bloom early in the season. So this is the Sweet Summer Love Clematis. The thing special about them is they bloom throughout the summer. They bloom continuously, and they have this vanilla-like fragrance. And the petal ages from purple to pink over time. Yeah, so this is quite a special variety of clematis, which I really do love. Right next to clematis, this is a golden hop. So the hop is the one you use to make, they produce the flower head, and the people make beer with it. And this golden hop, when they have the flower head, it is quite aromatic. It's not floral, but it has this very refreshing herbal aroma, which is very lovely. And so this golden hop, along with the Nicotiana Sylvestris that I showed you earlier, they're from my friend Colleen, Gardens by Colleen. I have a playlist here. Yeah, make sure to check out Colleen's the video tour for Colleen's garden. It is just spectacular. Here's another area where I have the Sweet Summer Love Clematis. I think you probably can see better from here. They have this small dainty flower, like two-tone, deep pink and also purple. And they also have this faint vanilla fragrance, and they flower throughout the summer. Yeah, I find them really, really rewarding. So again, this is Jay. We are taking a look at the fragrant plant in my own garden. I hope you enjoy this. Thank you.